Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you guys a tutorial on this inspired set that my client brought in. I'm starting off with a fine sanding band and I'm just going around her cuticles just to remove that shine and the oil off her natural nail bed to prevent any lifting. You want to make sure you don't apply too much pressure so that way you're not damaging the client's natural nail bed. Alright, so here I'm just going to file my client's natural nail with a hand file so that way her nails aren't growing too much underneath when it does tend to grow out, because like I said in my previous video, I don't like to see the nails growing underneath the acrylic. So this is optional, honestly. You can just lay your tips right after you prep the nail, but I tend to file right after. Alright, so next I'm just going to apply my tips. You want to make sure that your tips fit properly. You don't want to have your tips too small because they will cause lifting and your shape will be completely off. So make sure your tip is either a bit bigger or the same size. So all I do is I add a dot of glue and then I apply my tips and the glue will spread throughout the whole tip. This glue I got from my local nail supply. It works amazing. It dries super fast, which I love. And again, you want to make sure your tip is bigger so that way you won't have any problems with your shape or lifting. So here I'm just going to cut the tips to my client's desired length. I typically cut a little longer because when I get to shaping, I do tend to shape a lot. So I ask my client where they want their length to be and then I go a little longer. So if you don't have that problem, you don't have to do this part, but I do. And then I just line my client's cuticles side by side just to make sure that each finger is the same length. Alright, so here I'm just going to not really shape too much because it is already shaped for me. My client's going for a tapered square. So I'm just going to slim it down a little bit. I tend to curve it at the nail bed and then straighten it down, just to get the size to blend in with the natural nail. So that's typically what I do, but I don't have to shape too much. I just try to get that slim tapered square, if that makes sense. Alright, so next I'm just going to blend in the tip with my client's natural nail. This is just so that way I can get a flawless application. So when it's time to lay my acrylic goes on smoothly. I also blend in, well, rough out the tip itself so that way my acrylic isn't running down as fast. I feel like this method helps the acrylic to, how do I put it? It gives me more control when I buff out the tips rather than not buffing it out and then it just like runs down faster when I don't. I don't know if that made any sense, but for me, I feel like I have more control over my acrylic when I buff out the tips. Alright, so after I prime my client's natural nail with my Mia Secret primer, this is just so that way my acrylic could adhere to my client's natural nail, and so that way she won't get any lifting. I'm using my not polished acrylic. I forgot the name of it, but it will be down in the description box. And if you do order from Not Polished, you can use my coupon code, which will be DEE, and you will get 10% off. So I just go in with one bead. I actually did 2 to 3 beads when doing this set. I love it because I finish these sets so fast when it's just like super easy for me. This length is like the best length. I love it. So I'm just going to apply my first bead sort of at the middle, and then I'm going to apply my second bead where I applied this bead, and then I'm going to apply it at the cuticle area. This is just so that way I can have, like, you know, a decent apex. I don't like my apex too crazy, but I like it, you know, I like it to be there, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to apply it at the cuticle area, but I'm going to apply it where I applied this second bead, and then I'm going to push it up so that way it's not like soaked into the cuticle. So you just want to apply it where you applied that second bead and just like push it up and then drag it. I don't typically wipe my brush off. I like to just you know what I'm doing here, just like swipe and then clean off my brush, because I don't know, it just works for me. When I wipe off my brush every second, it gets dry, and then it's just I don't like it. So I just like wipe for like 3 to 4 times and then wipe off my brush. Okay, so here I have gotten a lot of questions on how do I keep my like charms or glitter to stay on the nail. Literally, you just lay your acrylic and then you stick. It's like, it's like glue, honestly. Acrylic is like glue. You just stick it on and then it will harden with whatever you put on it. So long as you don't wait too long, you'll be fine. But as soon as you lay that acrylic, you want to make sure you stick it right there and then. And then here I did the same thing. I laid a thin layer of clear acrylic and then I added like my charm and my gold flakes. You want to make sure it's wet though. So as soon as you lay that acrylic and then you add your charms or whatever it is that you're adding on there, glitter or whatever the case may be, you want to make sure you add it like right away. Like I'm working fast right now because I don't want it to dry up on me, and then I'll have to like keep adding and adding clear. So I just use literally 1 coat of clear and then I'll add whatever it is that I'm adding or whatever my client wants to add on there. Like literally exactly. So remember, it's like glue. You want to make sure you add it quickly before it dries. Alright, so here I'm just going to do like a marble effect. I added in clear, white, and the color that I just used, like this pink color, and I'm just going to like play with my brush and just like mix everything in. You don't want to mix too much. You just want to lightly mix it in, because if you do like mix it a lot, I want to say, then it will like lose its color and all the colors will just blend. So you just want to lightly just like play with your brush a little bit with the colors. Now I did add a little bit of clear to the corners, just so that way again I can just stick my foil on there so it can stick. And then I'm just going to do that on the corners, and then I'm going to add my butterflies in there as well. Alright, so for this nail, we're gonna do an ombre nail. So I'm just going to add this first bead at the middle, and then I'm just going to blend it in. I do 2 blends, maybe 3, but mostly it's only 2. And then I'm just going to add it at the cuticle and then blend it in. And then at the bottom, where it's like blending towards like the butterflies, like in the middle area, I'm going to add just a little bit of that color there, so that way I can get like that perfect blend and it doesn't look like, you know, too crazy. All right, so next I'm just going to encapsulate all my artwork in with a clear acrylic. This is just so that way when I start drilling, none of that hard work goes away. So if it's like a marble or like here, butterfly foil, glitter, whatever it is that you're putting on the nail with like acrylic, you want to cap it with clear acrylic. So that way when you start drilling, none of that design goes away. All right, so on to my favorite part, which is shaping, of course. We're going to keep our hand file as straight as possible. I tend to curve at the bottom so that way I can get any excess acrylic that's left on the side off. But other than that, you want to make sure your hand file is completely straight. Like as you can see, like the corners, I tend to like remove any acrylic that's on the skin, and I like curve it just so I can get like the acrylic that's on the sides off. Other than that, my hand file is straight just to get that perfect tapered square. All right, so next I'm just going to drill my client's nails down. I'm going around the cuticles. You want to make sure you're careful around the cuticles so that way you're not like cutting your client. And you just want to go around the cuticles, go around the sides just to remove any any like boxy areas. I don't really know how to explain it, but like when you file, you have like that crisp line. You just want to smooth out that area with your e-file, and you're just gonna go around the corners and just like, you know, make sure everything's smooth. You want to move your client's fingers to the side just to see if there's any lumps, and if there is, you just want to go around it, well, over it, just to like remove it and get that nail to come out completely smooth. Alright, so here I'm just going to buff out the nail just to get any specks that's on the nail off, so that way when you apply your top coat you won't have anything in the way or like stuck on there. Afterwards, I'm just gonna go back in with my hand file and just like clean up the sides, so that way if I did leave any acrylic hanging on the corners, I can just fix that up, and then you know, fix my shape up as well if, you know, I ended up missing anything from there. Then I'll get my clients to wash her hands, and then I'll go over her skin. I don't show this step. I don't know why I left this part out, but I go in with a napkin and alcohol, and I clean off any extra acrylic that was like left around her skin. So I'm just going to apply my nail polish gel top coat, and then I'm going to cure my client's nails in for 60 seconds. Okay, so next I'm just going to apply some cuticle oil, and this is just to hydrate her cuticles, and I'm just gonna rub it in. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I thank y'all so much for all the love that y'all show under my comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in my next one.